In this video, we are going to see how to add and subtract time. Now here we have some questions. We have different times which are given to us, and for each of these 4 times, we have to find the time which would be 10 minutes later and the time which is 10 minutes earlier than the given time. So when we have a given time in 24-hour clock time format, the first 2 digit represents hours. So when we say 8 hours and 10 minutes, so there are 8 hours and 10 minutes. 10 minutes later means we have to plus 10 and we have to add 10 minutes. And minutes are always added in the minutes column. So we will say plus 10. So what is the answer? When you add 10 in 10, how much do you get? 20. And the hours will remain as it is. So what will be the time? 8 hours and 20 minutes. So it will be written as 08 space 20. Now what is the time 10 minutes earlier? 10 minutes earlier means you have to subtract 10. Subtract 10 minutes. Now when you have 8 hours and 10 minutes, when you subtract 10 minutes, what time would it be? It would be 8 o'clock. So 8 hours. I hope you have understood it. Now let's do some more practice. The next one is 11:59. There are 11 hours and 59 minutes. When we add 10 minutes, we will write 10 over here. Minutes will be added in the minutes. 9 plus 0 is 9. 5 plus 1 is 6. So 69 minutes. And how many hours? 11 hours. So 11 hours and 69 minutes. Now, as you know that 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. And here we have 69 minutes. So whenever you add or subtract and your answer is 60 or is greater than 60 minutes, you will move those 60 minutes into 1 hour and you will move it to this side, to this column. So 69 minutes means 60 minutes and 9 minutes. So we can write it as 11 hours plus 60 minutes plus 9 minutes. And 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. So we have 11 hours plus 1 hour plus 9 minutes. What is 11 hours plus 1 hour? It is 12 hours and 9 minutes. So how do we write 12 hours and 9 minutes? We write it like 12 space 09. And what will be the time 10 minutes earlier? 11:59. 10 minutes earlier, it would be 11:49. I hope you can do it mentally now, right? Now let's look at the third one. The next one is 12:45. When we add 10 minutes to 12:45, these are hours and these are minutes. 12 hours and 45 minutes. When we add 10 minutes, what will we get? 45 plus 10 is 55 and 12 as it is. So it would be 12 hours and 55 minutes. Now can you do mentally what would be the time 10 minutes earlier? 12:45. I hope you have done it mentally up till now. From 12 hours and 45 minutes, when we subtract 10 minutes, what do we get? 5 minus 0 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3 and 12. So it is 12 hours and 35 minutes and I hope and I'm sure you have got it correctly when you did it mentally. Now 6 hours. Let's do this one. So we have 6 hours and 0 minutes. What happens when we add 10 minutes? What would be the time? It would be 6 hours and 10 minutes. And what will be the time when we subtract 10 minutes from it? We have 6 hours and 0 minutes. We have to subtract 10 minutes. Now we cannot subtract 10 from 0, so we need to borrow. When we borrow from here, it is 6 hours. These are 6 hours and these are minutes. So when we borrow 1 hour, when we borrow 1, we basically borrow 1 hour. So how many hours would be left here? 5 hours. And when 1 hour comes over here, we have to write it in minutes. 1 hour means 60 minutes. So now we are going to add these two numbers. What is 60 plus 0? It is 60. So now we have to subtract 60. We have to subtract 10 from 60, which is 50, and 5 as it is. So what will be the time when 10 minutes earlier to 6 o'clock? It would be 5:50. I'm sure आपको समझ आ गई भी होगी. Now grab a paper and pen. We'll do some more questions. And आपने मेरे से पहले पहले करना है. Right? चलिए, let's start. Okay. Time is 8 o'clock. We have to tell the time 20 minutes later. Can you do it mentally? I'm sure you have done up till now. It would be 8:20. What will be the time 20 minutes earlier to 8 o'clock? I'm sure this is easy and you have done it mentally as well. Let's do the steps. Let's do working as well. 8 hours and 0 minutes. And when we subtract 20, we cannot subtract 20 from 0. So we need to borrow. And when we borrow, these 8 becomes 7. And when we have borrowed 1 hour, it becomes 60 minutes. It means 60 minutes. Now what is 60 plus 0? It is 60. So now we have to subtract 20 from 60. 60 minus 20 is 40. And here we have 7. So 7 hours and 40 minutes. When we'll write it in 24-hour clock format, we will write 7:07:40. I'm sure you have done it correctly. Okay. Now let's do the other one. 15:15 plus 20. What would it be? 15 hours, 15 minutes. When we add 20 minutes, what do we get? 5 plus 0, 5, 2 plus 1, 3, and 15 as it is. We get 15:35. What do we get when we subtract 20 minutes from 15 minutes, or 15:15? Let's see. So we have 15 hours, 15 minutes. We have to subtract 20 minutes from it. We cannot subtract 20 from 15. So we need to borrow from hours. So it becomes 14 hours. And when we borrow 1 hour, it means 60 minutes. Now add these two numbers. 60 plus 15 is 75. So we have to subtract 20 minutes from 75 minutes. Now 5 minus 0 is 5 and 7 minus 2 is again 5. So we have 14 hours and 55 minutes. Now let's do the next one. We can do it orally as well. 11:25 plus 20 minutes. Let's see whether I write the answer first or you say it out loud. It would be 11 hours 45 minutes. 25 plus 20 is 45. And what happens, what is the time 20 minutes earlier? What happens when we subtract 20 from 25 minutes? We have 11:05. Okay, 11:50. 20 minutes later, it means we have to add 20. Now what is 50 plus 20? 70 minutes and 11 hours. Now 70 minutes, whenever this number is 60 or greater than 60, we have to convert minutes into hours and send it to the hours column. So 70 basically means 60 minutes and 10 minutes. So we can write it as 11 hours plus 60 minutes plus 10 minutes. 60 minutes mean 1 hour. So 11 hours plus 1 hour mean 12 hours and 10 minutes. So 12 hours and 10 minutes means 12, 10. And what is the time 20 minutes earlier? Simply subtract 20 from 50. What do we get? 11:30. So let's do the next one. 10:45. 10 hours, 45 minutes. When we add 20 minutes to it, what do we get? 5 plus 0 is 5. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 10 hours as it is. Now this number is greater than 60. So we have to separate it. 65 means 60 minutes and 5 minutes. If you don't know how to partition it, how to split it, simply whatever the number you have here, simply subtract 60 from it. What do you get? 5. So we will write 65 as 60 plus this number, which is 5. So it means 10 hours plus 60 minutes plus 5 minutes. Now what is 60 minutes? 1 hour. So 10 hour plus 1 hour plus 5 minutes. And what is 10 plus 1 hours? 11 hours and 5 minutes. So we can write it as 11 hours and 5 minutes. Okay. So what would be the time 20 minutes earlier than to 10:45? We have to subtract 20 from 45. What would we get? 10:25. You can always do the working if you want. 12:55. What will be the time 20 minutes later? 55, 5 plus 0 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7, and 12. So 12 hours and 75 minutes. But wait, can we write it as 12 hours and 75 minutes? No, this is greater than 60. So we need to split it. 60 plus how many minutes? Let's subtract and see. 75 minus 60. 5 minus 0 is 5. 7 minus 6 is 1. So 60 minutes and 15 minutes. So we have 12 hours, 60 minutes and 15 minutes. And this 60 minute means 1 hour. And what is 12 hour plus 1 hour? It is 13 hours. So 13 hours and 15 minutes. So we can write it as 13 hours and 15 minutes. Last, 20 minutes earlier. What would be the time 20 minutes earlier? We need to subtract 20 from 55. What would we get? 12 hours and how many minutes? 35. Now, I'm sure you have understood it and we can do some more practice. Okay, so we have 7 hours and 20 minutes. 15 minutes later, the time would be, yes, 7 hours, 35 minutes, 7:35. And what will be the time 15 minutes earlier? Yes, 7:05. Now we have 4:45. What will be the time 15 minutes later? 4 hours, 45 minutes. We have to add 15 minutes. What do we get? 5 plus 5 is 10. 1 carried. 4 plus 1 is 6. And 4. So 4 hours and 60 minutes. And we know that 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour. So this 60 minutes, when it goes to the other side, or when we convert these minutes into hours, we will have 5 hours. And how many minutes? 0. So 5 hours. What will be the time 15 minutes earlier? Subtract 15 from 45. What would we get? 4. How much? 30. Good. If we have 750, 7 hours, 50 minutes, and we add 15 minutes, what do we get? 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 65. And 7 hours. So 7 hours and 65 minutes. We have to break down 65. 65 means 60 minutes and 5 minutes. So now can you tell me the time? This 60 minutes will be added to hours and we get 8 hours and 5 minutes. So we write it as 0805. And what will be the time 15 minutes earlier? We simply need to subtract 15 from 50. We cannot subtract a 5 from 0, so we need to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 4 minus 1 is 3. So we have 7:35. So the next one is 12 hours and 5 minutes. What will be the time 15 minutes later? It will be 12 hours and add 15 to 5 minutes, 20. And what will be the time 20 minutes earlier? Now, 5 and 15. We cannot subtract 15 minutes from 5 minutes. 5 minutes छोटे हैं, 15 minutes ज़्यादा हैं. So we need to borrow from here. Here we will have 11 hours. और जब हम 1 hour borrow करेंगे, तो यहाँ पे आ जाएंगे 60 minutes. इन दोनों को पहले प्लस करें. 60 and 5 is 65. So 65 minus 15 is 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 1 is 5. And 11. So 11 hours and 50 minutes. The next is 12 hours and 10 minutes. What will be the time 15 minutes later? It would be 13 hours and 25 minutes. And what will be the time 15 minutes earlier? We need to subtract it. 13 hours, 10 minutes minus 15 minutes. Now, can we subtract 15 minutes from 10 minutes? No, we can't. So we need to borrow. In place of 13, we will have 12. And when we borrow 1 hour, when it comes in the minutes section, minutes column, it becomes 60 minutes. What is 60 plus 10? It is 70. So now we need to subtract 15 from 70. Can we subtract 5 from 0? No. We again need to borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 1 is again 5 and 11. So time would be 11:55. And I'm sorry, it was 12, so it would be 12:55. Just make a correction. Okay. Next one is 8 o'clock. What is the time 15 minutes later? 8:15. And what is the time 15 minutes earlier? We have to subtract it. We can't subtract 15 from 0, so we need to borrow. And when we borrow, it becomes 60 minutes. 60 minus 15. 0 minus 5, we can't do it. So we need to borrow again. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4. And here we have 7. So it would be 7:45. Now I'm sure you have understood what I'm trying to convey to you. Now, I promise this is the last slide. Let's do some more questions. Some of them you can do mentally. 15 hours and 20 minutes, you have to add 30 minutes. So we will add minutes into minutes. 20 plus 30 is 50. And hours will remain as it is. Now 2 hours and 50 minutes, we have to add 40 minutes. 0 plus 0 is 0, 5 plus 4 is 9, and 2. Now this number is greater than 60. We have to split it. 60 minutes and what? चेक कर लेते हैं. 90 को 60 में से माइनस करें. We have 30. So 90 minutes means 60 minutes and 30 minutes. 60 minutes का मतलब क्या है? 1 hour. So what would be the time? 3 hours 30 minutes. Now 11:35 plus 50. Let me erase the screen first. Now 11 hours 35 minutes. When we add 50 minutes, what do we get? 5 plus 0 is 5. 5 plus 3 is 8 and 11. Now this number is greater than 60. What do we need to do? We have to split it. 85 minus 60 is, how much is 85 greater than 60? 5 minus 0 is 5. 8 minus 6 is 2. So we have 60 minutes and 25 minutes. And these 60 minutes make up 1 hour. So we have 12 hours and 25 minutes. Now the second last one, 10 hours, 20 minutes. If we subtract 30 minutes from it, what do we get? Now 30 is a bigger number, 20 is a smaller number, so we need to borrow. 10 hour becomes 9 hours, and when we borrow 1 hour, it means 60 minutes. So these 60 and 20, when we add them, we get 80. So basically we need to subtract 30 from 80, which is 50 and 9. So the time would be 9 hours, 50 minutes. Last one. We have 9 hours and 10 minutes and we need to subtract 25. Again, 10 is a smaller number, 25 is a bigger number. We need to borrow. And when we borrow 1 hour, it means 60 minutes. And this number becomes 70. So we have to subtract 25 minutes from 70 minutes. 5 minus 0, we can't do it. So borrow. 10 minus 5 is 5. 6 minus 2 is 4. And 8. So we have 8:45. Now by doing this exercise, the benefit that you will have is you will be able to solve the word problems involving time very easily. So I hope you have understood it and you have practiced it as well. Happy learning!